Hello, welcome to Dunner Dwellers podcast. I'm your host, Justin. So today we're reviewing another Japanese film. I know you guys might be getting sick of me reviewing Japanese films. I'm sorry. One more this week, and then we'll review some more Western films. Today we're reviewing Audition, the 1999 Takashi Miike film, which is an hour 55 minutes. It's a horror thriller. Right, it's written by Daisuke Tengen, and it stars Ryo Ishibashi as Shigeharu Oyama. You have Jun Kunimura as Yasuhisa Yoshikawa, Renji Ishibashi as Old Man Wheelchair, and Eihi Shiina as Asami Yamazaki, which she's also in. I think she's also the star of Tokyo Gore Police, which we're reviewing this Thursday for Tokusatsu Thursdays. So, if you guys didn't catch my Antichrist review, the theme for this October is I'm going to review a lot of horror films that I avoided watching because I didn't want to watch them because either they were too scary or whatever, or they had something about them that I didn't like. That I heard about and I didn't want to watch. Right. So this movie is famous for being a torture, film. And it wasn't really, honestly. Like the torture scenes mostly happen in like the last 20 or 30 minutes of the film, right? So the movie's about the movie, I should mention, was based off a book, a Japanese novel. I never read the book. I haven't read a lot of Japanese books, to be honest. Oh wait, I think it says here, based off on Audition by Ryu Murakami, right? Which never read any of his books. Yeah, don't know if any of them ever got released here. So the movie is about this widower, which is Ryo Ishibashi's character, Oyama, who runs a successful company. They don't really say how rich the guy is, but he comes off like he's well off. He lives with his teenage son and their bloodhound dog, Gang. Or Gengu, right? Who looks very cute. I think he's like a puppy, right? And 7 years ago, his wife died. They didn't say what his wife died of. And, one day at dinner with his teenage son's like, Dad, you're getting old. You should remarry soon, right? And it's funny, like, I say, it's kind of, I guess it's, like, implied that, like, the whole, like, this movie's whole plot is basically is partially the son's fault. Because he set everything off in motion, right? And, like, it's kind of implied, he probably just wants a stepmom because, he's sick of lousy cooking, because he takes he's a teenager. He takes a girl home, and she's very polite. She looks she looks good for her age, whatever. And like the dad likes her, but he breaks up with her, and he's like, the dad goes like, why did you break up with her? He's like, she was a crappy cook, Dad. So it's like the whole movie happened because he was sick of his dad's cooking. Right. So yeah, he suggests to his dad, hey, you should get remarried, right? Even though the dad doesn't have like a girlfriend or anything, right? And it's kind of implied that he's kind of lonely, right? So after having drinking at a bar with his friend Yasuhisa Yoshikawa, who works in the film industry, who's played by Jun Kunimura, who you'll know from movies like The Wailing. He was in the beginning of Hard Boiled, right? The Chow Yun Fat film, and he's also in Shin Godzilla. He's in a lot of movies, right? And he's probably a famous Japanese actor, right? He's in a lot of movies. Trying That's not really showing what's his most notable movies, right? I love they're showing his most notable. Well, they give me examples of what movies this guy's been in, and I don't recognize. Besides from Why Don't You Play in Hell, I don't recognize any of these fucking movies. Come on, those can't be his most popular fucking movies, right? But yeah, so he suggests to his friend, who wrote a screenplay for a movie, like some kind of romance drama. Like, hey, you know that script you made, right? We'll audition girls, right, for your movie, all right, and then you hit it off, right? So it's kind of like the movie's almost like the first hour of the movie is almost like Ergo, where they're planning to make this fake movie just so he can audition girls to see if they would be romantic, like a good wife for him, right? And one of the girls is obviously Asami is the main villain of the film, Asami Yamazaki, who was a ballet dancer who had to quit her dream because she got a hip injury, right? And Shigehiro Yama immediately falls in love with her after reading her resume, where she complimented the plot, the script, and said that she also knows what it means to feel lost and shit. I guess because there's a death scene in the movie, and immediately Yoshikawa, which is Jun Kunimura's character, is like, I don't know about this young chick. She's setting off a lot of red flags, right? He could tell immediately, hey, there's something off with this chick, right? Because they do background checks on her references, and the dude, the bar that she worked at was closed, and her reference at a record company, the guy had been missing for a year. So it's all these red flags pop up, but Shigehiro's fuck that shit. Goes out to have dates with her, and after 2 dates, he decides to ask her to marry him, right? Ask her to marry him. So there's gonna be spoilers for this movie review, okay? But if you want to know what my rating for the movie is, check the description, okay? Because it's just check the description. So what ends up happening is he ends up banging her at this hotel, and she fucks off, right? And the movie almost becomes a mystery film where he goes to try to find her, right? And finding out, hey, there was a murder at her place of work. There's a creepy old man at the ballet place, right, where she did ballet, right? All this creepy red flag shit is going on, and he still wants to meet the chick. So the movie almost reminded me of Fatal Attraction, because there's a scene where she breaks into his place, and breaks into his place, and she gets this idea in her head that, oh, that the movie, which even Jun Kunimura was like, oh, well, maybe we'll make if we can find funding, we'll get the movie made, because he actually liked the script, right? Figures out that, like, thinks that, oh, that the auditions for the movie was fake, and that they were just using auditions to fuck actresses. Which, by the way, I'm obviously, I'm not part of the industry, but obviously, being a critic, I do research and how this shit works. You're not supposed to like call lists and shit. Like, you're not supposed to use that for personal, like, personal, like, shit, right? If so, in the entertainment industry, you're not supposed to do that, right? Because I used to follow this comedian who had a podcast, and he lost his job in the adult film industry because he would he would use the call list to, like, try to get, like, porn stars to go on his podcast, right? And he worked for, like, a DVD company, right? Yeah. So what happens? And this is, like, the final act of the movie, right? Which I should mention, there's a lot of weird dream sequences and hallucinations, right? Where it's kind of revealed that, like, because, like, he has, like, a secretary that acts very weird around him, and it kind of comes off that she has, like, a crush on him, and it's revealed through, like, this dream sequence that, oh, that he actually had a one-night stand with her and kind of blew her off, even though she was, like, she kind of, like, fell in love with him or whatever, right? But, like, it's like the secretary was kind of ugly, so it's kind of like, oh, you kind of don't. It was kind of a shitty thing to do, because you shouldn't fuck your, like, someone who works underneath you. But it's like, holy fuck. So I kind of liked they revealed, oh yeah, he's not exactly a good guy either, right? And he, but yeah, what ends up happening is that, it turns out, like, the record that, Asami was the victim of possible child molestation from the old man in the wheelchair, and that fucked her up so bad that she basically kidnaps men, chops their tongue off, chops their feet off, and keep them in a bag, in a sack bag, and, like, basically treats them like a dog. Which reminds me of this Jonah Hex comic book that that Jimmy Palmiotti and I forget the other guy wrote, and they probably ripped this movie off, because that was like that comic, I think, came out, like, before the Jonah Hex movie, a little bit before the Jonah Hex movie. Yeah. So and she tries to do the same with him, but the teenage son, who was supposed to spend a night at his friend's house, shows up, and I'm not going to spoil the end of the movie. So what did I think about the movie? Holy fuck. Well, we'll go to the positives. I thought the movie was well shot. The acting was good. The script itself, like, the dialogue and everything, was okay. It was good, right? But the problem was with the story, right? So, like, yeah, well, now we get into the dislikes. Dislike 1, main character is a fucking dumbass. He gets warned by everybody and has all these red flags pop up, right? And it's just like, he just, like, ignores everything, And it's just like, what a fucking idiot. This guy runs a successful company, right? And one of the, because Japan economy is one of the most ruthless, like, places ever, like, to run businesses and shit. So he runs a successful company in Japan, right? So he should be smart, but he ignores all these red flags and shit. He's like, it's like, holy fuck, you should be smarter, man. Yeah, so he's dumb, right? And this, as a dog owner, I do, and even as a pet owner in general, I don't like seeing pets get killed, and the fucking bitch killed the dog in the movie. Right? And it's like, there was no reason to kill the dog in the movie, because the dog is kind of a coward. Because when she broke into the place, he didn't bark or anything, he hid under the house. So the dog already is a coward. So what reason was there to kill the dog other than she's a fucking bitch, I guess. Oh my fuck. Murderous whore. What else? Problems with the movie. Also, not a huge fan of like shit where it's like, is this real or not real? And because that shit is dumb, right? I really hate that shit. Unless the movie is like a supernatural movie or whatever, then it's okay to have dream sequences, people like seeing the future and all that shit, right? But yeah, there's weird dream shit in the movie, right? Visions and shit. Like, the one, like at end of the movie, I guess you can argue that he was hallucinating because of, do people hallucinate when losing blood? I don't fucking know, man. Like, from blood loss? I don't know. But yeah, the movie, I don't, it's just a thing where I hate that shit, right? So, if people know how ratings work on my channel, you start at a 5 for every like plus 1, every dislike minus 1. So, we got 3 dislikes, 3 likes, so 5 out of 10 for this movie. I thought, I'm starting to think that a lot of the reason why reason why I didn't like a lot of these movies that I didn't want to watch wasn't because I was too scared to watch them, because it was because like I had a feeling, I would hate this, I wouldn't like these movies, right? But yeah, the movie, I don't know, man. Is the movie worth watching if you're a Takashi Miike film? Maybe, but yeah, I don't know. I like more his fun movies, and this movie wasn't really that scary, honestly, because it's like, dude, like the guy just like, he just every fucking like, it's just like, what the fuck, man. Every red flag he just ignores just to get with the chick. What the fuck? This is virgin, like, insult behavior. This is not something a grown man would fall for. Because even, like, his teenage son's like, hey, Dad, let me meet her before you do anything, before, things get too serious, right? And he's like, I can handle it, son. It's like, holy fuck. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for the movie. My next movie review is probably going to be Tokyo Gore Police. Maybe we'll post a movie review in between. I'm not exactly sure what movie, because we were also supposed to review bad Halloween movies on Tubi, and they're just so fucking bad. I can't even finish them. So it's like, why even fucking bother reviewing low budget shitty Halloween horror films that you guys aren't gonna watch? So it's like, what the fuck is the point? So that's it.